Welcome to day 3 of the Money Challenge. Now, this is a 5-day money challenge to elevate your money story. So we are on day 3 and we are diving into what is it that you actually believe about money. Now, yesterday we talked about your desires and what you truly want to create in this world. And this has probably brought up a lot of fun where you're diving into your desires. But then if you're anything like most people, you might have then went, but that's not for me, or that's too hard, or it takes a lot to do that, so maybe I shouldn't. What is it that's come up for you after doing yesterday's exercise? What are those money beliefs that have been niggling away in the back of your mind and making you feel like them desires are not for you? Because this happens all of the time and you are completely natural if this has happened to you. If not, brilliant. That's amazing. That means that you can dive onto tomorrow. We're going to be vibing with your desires and we're going to be stepping into that energy. But if it really did bring up some stories for you and it really did bring up some beliefs around your money and what you're actually allowed to have, then let's dive into that today. Now, often there'll be certain beliefs that come up around you thinking about elevating your current position. You might have beliefs about what you believe you are worth or what you believe you can have or how easy it is to bring it into you. We create all of these rules and stories around money and how it works. We tell ourselves it's got to come from a certain place, it's got to be in a certain way, shape, or form. It's got to come through a business, or it's got to come through a job, or it's got to come through a partner. We also create beliefs around what if you actually made more money than your partner? Imagine that. Now, do you have any beliefs coming up around you can't be the one making this money, or you're not good with money? So what is coming up for you when you start to think about money and you start to think about having more money than you could ever imagine? What does this bring up for you? Now, do not judge these beliefs. These are completely natural. Like I said in day 1, they come from all these stories, all these money things that we've been taught in the past, and they're completely normal to have them. Even if you're making lots of money and then you go to make a huge investment, you're going to be like a level of, should I? Shouldn't I? You're still going to be working through your money stuff regardless of the figure. So if you're in a place at the moment where you're in a good space, but you're up leveling, you're going to be feeling some of the same stuff. Whereas if you're starting out and you've never had that money before, there's going to be just different levels of the same thing. So do not panic if they come up. It's just about recognizing what beliefs are coming up for you, because when they do, what is actually happening is they're bringing you a huge gift. When your beliefs show up, when you go into that panic, when you go into that fear, when you go into the anxiety, all of that is just to show you there's something happening that doesn't feel in alignment with who you truly are. We're going to be diving into the real money story and what money really means tomorrow. But today, let's look at what is it saying for you? What have you been telling yourself? So when you get that anxiety, when you get these beliefs coming up, what it is a true gift. It's a gift to say, there is something I need to clear here. There is something I need to reframe or retrain often when it comes to your mind. So there's a part of you, your ego mind, that is navigated by lots of different stories and things from the past. You'll have your inner child that really does feel scared and feel anxious and often doesn't feel good enough. So when this part of you comes up, it's time to nurture it. It's time to say it's okay. It's okay to believe that, but do we really need to hold on to it now? I'm sorry that you felt that way. I'm sorry that these things have happened to you in the past, but now we're in a completely different space. Now we can move on. We can be someone different. If you start to reprogram and soothe your ego rather than telling it off or bypassing it, which is even worse, sometimes what we can do is really clear the energy around it. And not sometimes, all of the time, like all of the time. Let's just put that out there. So when you have these beliefs coming up, first of all, do not judge them. Just acknowledge them and thank them for showing up. Thank your beliefs for being there. Thank your beliefs for showing you what you need to clear. And then start to uncover, where's this belief coming from? What's the story behind it? What's the part of you that wants to be heard? What's the part of your ego that feels scared, that feels like it's not good enough, that feels like it's not worthy? Allow that part of you to say what it needs to say, to be heard. Allow it to speak, because that's the bit, it's probably never been able to speak this truth. So allow it to speak and then reframe. How could you be open to see things differently? Start to ask yourself that mantra. Have that as a go-to mantra. Every time you feel scared about money, every time you feel scared about making money or up-leveling with money or investing with money, all of these things, how can you start to see things differently? Because what that's going to do is open your mind to a different way of thinking. The way you've always thought and the way you've been programmed to think about money has given you these beliefs in the first place. So it's time to start to change these beliefs and turn them round. So when you start to ask, how can I start to see things differently? New ideas appear. New ways of thinking appear. So this allows you to reframe the situation and give yourself a new belief. So if your inner child is scared because it's never been good with money, it doesn't feel like it can handle a lot of money, it's scared about having that much money, you can start to soothe it and say, well, that's okay. You've never had to handle that much money. But now we're in a different space and we're going to be changing this around. So how can we see this differently? How can we tell ourselves a different story and bring a different story in? You are good with money. You are good at investing money. You are good at handling money. Bring a new story in. Bring a new belief in. So you start to reframe it and say it on repeat. What I would do is have these in your reminders on your phone. Have them either popping up every hour, every 2 hours, or have them on a location setting so that if you're going to the store or you're going somewhere where you're going to be spending money, it pops up on your phone going, I am so good at spending money. I am so good at investing money. I am so good at handling money. I am so good with money. Let that be your mantra as you walk inside a store. Let that be your mantra as you go somewhere different. This will start to reprogram your mind. So we're not just bypassing these beliefs here. We are actually retraining them, because your thoughts create your reality. It's just, unfortunately, your thoughts might not have been as high vibe as you'd have wanted them to be. So use this technique. Once your beliefs show up, get clear on the belief and let that part of you be heard. Hear what it needs to say, hear what the actual fear is, and then start to be open to see things differently. Reframe the belief. So pop in the comments today, what are your new beliefs? What are you actually believing about you with money? And you don't have to believe it 100% yet. You just need to start to say it on repeat. That's all you have done with these other beliefs. You've said them over and over again inside your mind. So once we start to clear them and say these over and over again inside your mind, you will start to believe them. And the more you say it, the more you will find proof of it and the more you will believe it. So please do not miss out this part. Changing these beliefs are so important. And tomorrow we're going to be diving into how to vibe with this new belief and how to actually understand money the way it should be understood. So I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you clear out some of the beliefs that you might have been holding on to. And we do so much more of this in Awaken the Abundant You Elevated program. So if you want to join that, early bird pricing is on currently. So please make sure you grab it at that price. But if not, I will see you tomorrow and we'll be diving into how to vibe with your money now.